Right now, as you read these words, there is a voice in your head saying them. You can hear it. Not out loud. Inside. It is reading this sentence to you in a tone, a rhythm, maybe even an accent. It is the same voice that narrates your day, rehearses your arguments, scolds you when you mess up, and talks you through the hard moments when no one else is around. You assume that voice is just you, thinking. But the real answer is far stranger. That voice was not born inside you. You installed it. You learned to talk to yourself the way you once learned to walk, and it changed what your mind is capable of. The conversation in your head is not a side effect of being human. It may be the very thing that made you human in the first place. To understand this, you have to drop the embarrassment. We treat talking to yourself as a little shameful, a sign of stress, of eccentricity, of someone losing their grip. You lower your voice when you catch yourself doing it in a shop. But that instinct is exactly backwards. Talking to yourself is not a glitch in an otherwise rational mind. It is one of the most powerful tools your species ever developed, and you use it constantly, whether you notice or not. Let's start where the voice comes from, because the answer rewrites how you think about thinking. In the 1930s, a Soviet psychologist named Lev Vygotsky watched something that everyone had seen but no one had explained. Young children, when they play, talk to themselves out loud, constantly. A 4-year-old building a tower will narrate the whole thing. Put it here. No, too big. Careful. Where's the red one? Adults assumed this was just noise, a child too young to keep thoughts inside. Vygotsky saw something else entirely. He saw a child learning to think. Here is what he realized. The child is not just describing the task, the child is guiding it. The talking is doing work. It is holding the plan together, steering the hands, keeping the goal in mind. And then Vygotsky noticed the crucial thing. As children get older, around the age of 7, that out-loud talk does not disappear. It goes quiet. It goes underground. The words get whispered, then mouthed. Then they vanish from the outside world entirely and become something else. A voice in the head. Your inner voice, Vygotsky argued, is private speech that went silent. The thinking you do in words is talking to yourself that you simply stopped saying out loud. You did not invent that voice. You internalized it. First it was outside, spoken into the air. Then it moved inside and became the soundtrack of your mind. And that means something profound. The voice in your head was once the voices of other people, the instructions of your parents, the warnings of your teachers, the words of everyone who ever talked you through something. You took the conversations happening around you and you turned them inward, and now they run as you. When you tell yourself to calm down, to focus, to be careful, you are often replaying in your own voice words that first reached you from outside. The psychologist Charles Fernyhough, who has spent his career studying inner speech, describes it as fundamentally a dialogue. Not a single stream, but a conversation. When you argue with yourself, weigh 2 choices, play out what someone might say back to you, you are doing in your head what humans evolved to do out loud with each other. Your mind is a tribe that you carry with you, a whole council of voices, learned from the people who raised you, debating inside your skull. So the voice is borrowed. But why would evolution build a creature that talks to itself at all? What did your ancestors actually use this for? The answer is that talking to yourself is how you think about things that are not in front of you. Picture an early human who needs to make a tool, plan a hunt, find their way back to a stream they saw 2 days ago. None of that is happening in the present moment. It all lives in the mind, in the future, in the maybe. And to hold a plan like that together, to keep it stable while you work through it, you need something to bind it. Language. Spoken first to others, then quietly to yourself. Self-talk let your ancestors run a simulation before they acted. Talk through the hunt before the hunt. Rehearse the words before the confrontation. Walk the route in your mind before your feet ever moved. Every time you mutter, let's see, what do I need? Okay, first this, then that. You are using the same ancient trick. You are building a future out of words so you don't have to learn it the hard way, by failing in the real world. The voice is a flight simulator for life, and the cost of a crash in the simulator is nothing. This is not just a nice theory. You can see it work in a lab. The cognitive scientist Gary Lupyan ran experiments where people searched for objects, and he found something remarkable. When people said the name of what they were looking for out loud, find the chair, find the apple, they found it faster. Just speaking the word sharpened their perception, tuned their eyes to the target. The self-talk was not decoration. It was changing what the mind could see. Language, spoken to no one but yourself, makes you better at the task in front of you, and it goes deeper than perception. Talking to yourself is how you take control of yourself. Think about the last time you faced something hard. A nervous moment before you spoke. A task you wanted to quit. Listen back, and you'll often find a voice was there. You can do this. Almost done. Don't you dare give up. That voice is not passive commentary. It is the steering wheel. Vygotsky's child talking itself through the tower never really left. As an adult, you still talk yourself through the tower. You just do it silently. The psychologist Ethan Kross discovered something even stranger about how to do it well. He found that the words you choose matter enormously, and specifically, the pronoun. When people are stressed and they talk to themselves using I, it tends to pull them deeper into the spiral. I am so nervous, I can't handle this. But when they talk to themselves using their own name, or the word you, something shifts. You've got this. Come on, your name. You've done harder things. That small change, talking to yourself as if you were a wise friend coaching someone else, measurably lowers stress and improves performance. Kross calls it distanced self-talk, and you can feel why it works. It turns the panicking I into a calm second voice. An advisor standing slightly outside the fear. Athletes do it. Performers do it. You have probably done it without knowing why. Coaching yourself by name is borrowing the voice of someone who believes in you and aiming it back at yourself when you need it most. Now you can see the whole strange picture. The voice in your head began as the speech of the people around you. It went inward and became the engine of your thinking, your planning, your self-control. It is how your ancestors rehearsed the future and survived it. It is, quite literally, how you talk yourself into being the person you are. But here is the part worth sitting with, because that same voice can turn against you. If self-talk is a tool, then like any tool, it can be pointed in the wrong direction. The same inner voice that can coach you, you've got this, can also corner you. You're an idiot. You always ruin everything. Why would anyone listen to you? That brutal inner critic is not some separate demon. It is the same machinery, running cruel words instead of kind ones, often replaying, once again, voices you absorbed from the outside long ago. The tribe in your head is not always gentle. Sometimes it repeats the harshest things anyone ever said to you in your own voice for years, which means the voice is not your master. It is your instrument. And the most important thing the science reveals is that you can change what it says. You can notice the cruelty and answer it. You can talk to yourself by name when the fear rises. You can take the most ancient tool your species ever built, the spoken word turned inward, and aim it deliberately, the way Vygotsky's child aimed it at a tower of blocks. Not to tear yourself down, but to build something. So the next time you catch yourself muttering under your breath in an empty room, or narrating your own life inside your head, don't be embarrassed. You are doing the most human thing there is. You are running the oldest software your mind has ever owned, the trick that let your ancestors plan, rehearse, and steer themselves through a dangerous world. You are talking to yourself, just like the ones who made it did. Right now, as you finish reading this, there is still a voice in your head saying these words. It was never just you thinking. It is everyone who ever taught you to think still talking. And now, finally, you get to decide what it says.